What up, what up? Good morning, beautiful people. How y'all doing this morning? How's everybody? Good morning, James. Good morning, all the cloud and bush watchers. How y'all doing? I hope y'all are having a good morning. This is your med check reminder. Please take your medications and don't be no fool and forget them like me with my ADHD. Um, so this is your med check reminder on this Monday morning. Did anybody do anything cool over the weekend or whatnot? Um, I had to take my medicine as I give y'all's med check reminder. I got to remember to take mine. Because if not, I'll forget. Hey, Gamecock Jenny. Hey, love. How are you doing? How did your weekend go? Did you have a good weekend? Did you do anything, see anything, anything crazy happening in the neighborhood? I swear sometimes that's one of the funniest things when you live in small neighborhoods, right? Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody's business. You know whose husband's cheating on who's fighting with who, and who's being true, and who don't even care anymore. You start wondering who's doing right by someone tonight, and whose car's parked next door. That's one thing that in our little small neighborhoods, little country outback neighborhoods, we know a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And news travels fast. Yes, it does. In fact, in my old neighborhood, a dude that was like two houses over from me, he got like a week ago, he got put in jail for a double homicide, and I would have never guessed that in a million years. Like this person, I knew this person. Like I knew that this person also had gotten involved with drugs or whatnot, and probably should have never been doing drugs in the first place because they also were not right in the head and special needs a little bit, but a good person ultimately. Um, like I would have never suspected that that would have happened um, at all for no amount of reason. Um, but that stuff happens. You up early this morning, church lady. Now I will say we did get my son's test results back. But I'm waiting on the doctor to make his assumptions because some things did come back abnormal. Um, but it could point to a lot of things or it could point to nothing at all. So I don't know if we're looking at more blood tests. I don't know if we're looking at more scans, more this, more that, more next thing, type of situation. Um, it's it's one of those things where I don't know if we're just going to be a wait and see procedure. Different things are going to be happening over the next few weeks. So I will say this to my beautiful audience and amazing people and friends here on the YouTube land. Hey, TNW Logger. Now, I will say, Gamecock Jenny, you can actually look that up. They have a website that you can look that up and see if anybody is on the registry that live close to you, and it will actually tell you um, where they're located at and all this other stuff. There is actually a website. If I can find the exact website, I'll shoot it in the chat. But it basically tells you if you have any neighbors that are near you that are registered. You can actually look up the registry online and it will tell you if they're registered at an address near you. That is something I like to look up, Gamecock Jenny, because I have a child. Even though he's not too long from being grown or whatever the case may be, um, you know, um, yeah, it's called Family Watchdog. That's what it's called. Thank you, babe. Um, it'll if you look on Family Watchdog, it'll tell you what um, is near you and who is near you um, and whatnot. But you never know. You never know. You could be living next door to somebody. You could be living right next door to somebody and don't even know it. if you don't look that stuff up and whatnot. Ote, hey, Watcher Love. I'm going to be on the road today too in just a little while. So the live may not be as long as it normally is because I got to go pay some bills and take care of some stuff out in town. Um, take care of, those things and whatnot. I always take care of it the first week of every month. I could take care of it. Could have took care of it some of it last week, but I always take care of it the first week of every month. I know, right? He got a deep ass voice, don't he, church lady? Yeah, when he said, "I'm not my dad." No way, we sound alike. Uh, Shoot, nah, hell nah, watch it. You know that? That's the one thing we all hate to do is give them all our money. But, okay, so I'm going to tell y'all what the test results say so far. He does not have the A1 tryptosine. The alpha 1 gene that we were talking about does not have that, which I was pretty much certain that was going to come back negative. But obviously, I wanted to make sure because of my half sister testing positive for the alpha 1 gene. Um, and like I've said, she got it from her mom because obviously I tested negative, my son tested negative. If in case it ran through our side of the family, we would have both tested positive for that gene or at least being a carrier. Um, Neither one of us are carriers. We don't even have the gene at all. So it had to have come from her mom. His NASH fibrostror did come back abnormal. Um, he doesn't have a fibrosis score, which is no scarring. He does, however, have a stenosis, which is mild. Mild stenosis, and his NASH score came back a little elevated. Not extremely elevated, but a little bit. So we're going to have to wait on that one to see what the doctor says. But it is showing that his enzymes are going down and not up. So that's a good thing from his last blood work. And his ferritin level was high, which means iron in the blood and or in the but his iron test came back normal. He's in normal range for iron and iron saturation in his blood. So that's kind of weird. Which means that his ferritin could be possibly pointing towards inflammation of some kind or something like that because his iron levels are normal. His autoimmune liver profile, his ANOM results were positive. So he is showing some kind of autoimmune response. What that means, I don't know. Here's the thing. Not every ANA test. It is good news about the alpha 1 tryptosine. It really is. Because A1 tryptosine is pretty much a death sentence. A lot of people don't know that. You don't live too long when you have the alpha 1 tryptosine because it starts to put you into lung problems, kidney failure, liver failure, so on and so forth. So that's why my sister passed away at such a young age. And yes, I do worry about my niece and nephew that she had, in the future, what that could lead for them. Because that is a genetic disorder. Extremely genetic. And her mother had it and passed away at a young age. She had it, passed away at a very young age. She lived longer than her mother did. Her mother passed away like at 24 or 25, if not earlier than that. She may have been 22 or 23. But it's not. I've looked at some of his cereal plasm is normal. So I don't think it's anemia, church lady. And it's the weird shit. It's like this comes back normal, this comes back normal. It's not pointing also on his autoimmune test. It's not, because they did a full workup for the autoimmune. When I say a full workup, I mean a full workup. His ANCA is negative, which ANCA would point towards vasculitis, which he does not have. So that's a good thing. Um, his kidney and liver was testing in the normal ranges by what I see. His anti-chromatin, which points towards lupus, was in normal value. His anti-mitochondrial, which points towards PBC, was normal. His anti-solutable liver AG was normal. His anti-smooth muscle was normal. His anti-mitochondrial was normal. So it's like, what the hell? You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's not given a definite answer. Now, definitely, we do know it's non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. That is a definite. That is just from the FibroScan, the FibroSure. It does show that he does have he does have fatty liver disease, but it's not showing what's causing it. His glucose is in normal range. His triglycerides is in normal range. His cholesterol is in normal range. His bilirubin's normal, which I will tell you, if you ever get a liver test and your enzymes are up, check out your bilirubin. If that's up, you got a problem. Hey, Miss Bambi. Good morning. We're going over, I was talking about my son had some tests done, and the reason you're not seeing me on the streets as much as normal is because we're dealing with a lot of things when it has to deal with his health. So, yeah. I'm taking it as a plus. I'm hoping the doctor comes back today. Here's the weird, crazy part. He has no symptoms. He has no, like he's not any different than he was yesterday. You get what I mean? So that's a thing. But at the same time, I'm freaking out because it's not giving us a clear, definite answer. You know what I'm saying? I want a clear, definite answer so we can get on the ball, take care of it, and fix it. Right? And not being able to do that. Hey, Mr. Maddie. Not being able to figure out exactly what's causing the issue is like, oh, fuck you. Like, tell me what the fuck the problem is so I can fix it for him. Like, I want to know so we can get on the ball, fix this situation, and not, now we got to go do more testing, and we got to do this, and we got to do that. And, oh my God. So I'm hoping, at least to get some kind of something so we can get it fixed. So, but on myself wise, I'm tired and I'm exhausted and I got a bunch of shit to do, which is normal for me. I think all of us adults sometimes wish we didn't have to adult so damn much. Kids don't understand how amazing they do have it. When we was kids, we wanted to grow up so fast. I can't wait till I'm grown and can do what I want. Yeah, now I wish I could go back a little bit. Because I didn't realize how much stress real life really is. And how much. Hey, Miss Heidi, good morning, beautiful. How are you still on vacation? How's everything going over that way? How are you doing, Miss Baby? How's the babies? How's everybody? How was y'all's weekend this weekend? Yeah, we did not know that we had it so awesome as little bitty kids. You're not back from vacation yet? Okay, well I hope you have fun and you're doing what you're doing. Are you back from? Because yeah, I don't know if I misread that. Sometimes. Oh, you're back. Oh, awesome sauce. Miss Heidi's back from vacation, yeah. So morning coffee gonna start back normally. I didn't get my notification though. YouTube tripping. I'm gonna have to cuss YouTube out again with their notifications because sometimes they be tripping and not telling me people live when they live. YouTube be tripping, y'all. YouTube be tripping. Um, but so now I'm like freaking out. Is it an autoimmune disorder? I know that one marker. I'm gonna have to ask the doctor about it. Basically, I think rules out lupus, which is good. I think that other market, the other one rules out other things. But now, oh, you haven't been live since Saturday? Okay, I was just making sure that YouTube wasn't tripping. So, because YouTube be tripping. Um, there, the situation now is like, so where do we go from here? The doctor hasn't made his comments yet on what he thinks it is, and I'm going to listen to him because I'm going to tell you something. I got my son with one of the best specialists in my area. When I tell you this man knows his stuff, he knows his stuff. When I was pregnant with my son and my liver disease started, he knew exactly what had happened to me and was the only doctor who pinpointed it to a T, to a T, and knew what had happened. Every other doctor was making guess after guess after guess after guess after guess. And he's like, I'm going to pretty much tell you this is in my medical professional opinion. You know what I'm saying? This, and this. And sure enough, if his medical professional opinion wasn't spot on, I'm not sitting here. This is one, if anybody ever was to move to this area and needed to see a liver specialist, I can tell you the best one that you could go to. This man is absolutely amazing. And if he ever retires, I'm probably gonna cry. Like I'm gonna cry like it's a death in the family. Like I've seen this man. Like the crazy part is when we saw him for the first time, I said, Doc, I said, you remember the baby that I was pregnant with? I said, this is him. I said, you saw me when I was pregnant with him. He said, oh my God, he ain't a baby no more. I said, yeah, he's a man, ain't he? So it was like he had saw me when I was in my 20s and has been my doctor and my specialist since then. And this man is amazing at what he does. You know what I'm saying? I just think the world of him. And my regular doctor, myself, I think the world of him. My regular doctor is an amazing man. He is a pillar of the community. He does stuff for St. Jude. He's on the news all the time promoting different charities to help people. And that's why, there's certain doctors that I uplift, if that makes sense. When you know they're a good person and they do their job and they're not just quacks, you got to uplift the good ones. You know what I'm saying? I know one of the best cardiologists in the area. That man is amazing. He's not cut happy. He's not in it for the money. He's in it to actually help people, which there's a difference. I will say this. I've seen the doctors, and I'm pretty sure all y'all have seen the doctors that are in it for the money or don't really care about their patients. But then you've seen those doctors who they don't just care about their patients. They also inquisitively love their job. And they're good at what they do. They absolutely love being a doctor, and it shows. It shows in their bedside manner. It shows how they listen to their patient. It shows in how they treat you. It shows in, in the links they'll go to make sure you're okay. And that they think of what is best for you first instead of what is best for their pocketbook. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say this right here. I've met both sides of the coin. I saw a doctor once had the worst bedside manner you have ever seen in your entire life. Now, medically, he had some know-how. But at the same time, he had no best. Now, I will tell you, this doctor was really good at what he did. He just had no, no bedside manner, how to treat a patient, stuff like. But then I've also seen the other one that technically that person should have never been a doctor. I saw this one doctor, y'all. I got to tell y'all about this one. He gave me a medicine not once but twice that tried to ill me. I had an adverse reaction to a blood pressure medication. And this mofo told me, well, maybe it's too high of a dose. Let's give you a different one. And same one, but lower dose. And let's give you the same medicine and it almost gave you a heart attack. Let's just go ahead and we're just going to lower the dose. Second time, same thing happened. I said, if you ever give me that medicine again, we're going to have some issues. I told him, don't never come back in my room. He couldn't be my doctor. I wasn't talking to him. I didn't want to see him no more. Hey, twin mama love. I will say, church lady, I have met some, actually, the 3 doctors I'm talking about, every one of them are male. Now, I've had some amazing female doctors. Amazing. I will say that. There was this one lady who was training under my doctor, and she was like, I think she was from Ghana, or she was from one of the islands, something. I can't remember what. I remember her telling me, but it's been like over a year ago now or 2, so I can't remember exactly where from. You know what I'm saying? But she was an islander, and you could tell because of her speech, right? And I asked her, I said, where are you from? Because I love your accent. And she ended up telling me and whatnot. She was absolutely amazing. There was another one. I'm trying to think if I've had a bad experience with one female doctor in my life, 1 or 2. I've had a bad experience with an ER female doctor once. She was trying to be, I'm going to tell you this. She was trying to be a Miss Know-it-all and didn't care what her patients said. She also didn't care, and you could tell it. Like, she was just over the job, if that makes sense. Like, she was trying to be better than the men to the point that she took it too serious and too literal, and she was a bitch. Let me just say it that way. And wasn't really that great at the job. I'm going to say that. Now, I've had some amazing on both sides. I think it's just finding the doctor that fits with you, the doctor you feel comfortable with. I will say that my regular doctor is an amazing man, and he's cool. I've had some great female doctors, but then I've had some not great ones. I've had some great male doctors, and I've had some not great male doctors. I will say there are some doctors who should have never went to medical school. They just, yeah. Oh, I had a doctor from New York. She was awesome. I will tell you that, church lady. We had a lady down here. She was Greek, and she was from New York. She was cool as shit. I liked her a lot. But she ended up like moving to a different clinic or whatnot. But she was the shiznit. I loved messing with her. My favorite thing every time I would go in to see her would be like, so you still missing the New York pizza and bagels? And she would go, shut up, Charlie, shut up. And we'd go to laughing about it. Sad part is she moved to another clinic before I got to bring her bagels from New York, because I was actually going to do that. I was actually going to go one of my visits that I went to New York, but it happened during the time that our car was having a little issue, so we traded it in. But I was going to bring her some down for her. She was a pretty cool lady. I liked her a lot. I think the coolest doctor I've ever met, I'm trying to figure out, I would still say the liver specialist. What up? Hey, G2K, how you doing? So with these test results for my son, I'm waiting on the doctor to make his notes. When I find out what his notes are, and if there is a formal diagnosis, I will let y'all know. Right now, it is pointing to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. What worries me is if he has NASH. NASH is very scary. NASH is actually very, very scary, because NASH can turn into something more. So, am I afraid of the NASH score? Yes. My NASH score came back, to, if I were to contrast and compare when I had these tests, right? Um, Actually, I'm going to go look at mine right now. And let's see. Hopefully, they still have it on here because, sometimes they backlog uh, things. Um, Let me see if they still have it up here. They should still have it up here. Um, let's see. La, 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 la. I'm trying to scroll back. My NASH live. Well, my fibro score was high, which is my scarring, and my stenosis was high. See, I have stage F1 portal fibrosis and S3 marked or severe stenosis. But my let me see. Let me look right here and try to find it. My NASH fiber score, though, where's it at? My NASH score was no grade, and it was normal value. So I've never had a NASH score, which scares me, right? Because I had the iron and the TIBC, and um, and I did have a Hep B and Hep C screening. My Hep C was negative. My Hep B was negative. Um, I have the antibodies for Hep A, which is a virus. So sometime in my life, I must have gotten it. Anybody can. Do y'all know what hepatitis A is? Like some of y'all? Let me tell y'all what it is. Be careful eating at certain restaurants. You can get it from restaurants. They had an outbreak not too long ago of it, so I have to be careful when people do that. So that means I have the antibodies. I don't have the actual disease. You can get over it like a stomach virus. Did you know that? But yeah, it scares me. Think about it like this. You know, it's scary when you have, um, you know, a child that has already been through so lot, and they, like, my ferritin came back normal, right? And so some of these tests that he's had, I've had. Now my M2 mitochondrial came back elevated and abnormal, but so both of us have had positive scores when it comes to that. But I didn't have a NASH score. NASH is scary to me. They scared me when I was, you know, when I was going through this myself with what NASH is. Um, and if I could explain it to y'all the way that I could look at it, is NASH and non-fatty liver are the same thing. The only thing is, NASH develops when the body stores excessive fat in the liver cells. NASH is one of two types of non-alcoholic fatty liver diseases. It's a type of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, right? But NASH can cause swelling and damage, which can become serious. If his NASH score continues, it can cause scarring and cirrhosis. So yes, it scares the bejesus out of me. It scares the bejesus out of me. But he has no scarring or cirrhosis yet, right? So that's a good thing. Um, it's just very scary. He doesn't have diabetes. His glucose has been normal. He doesn't have high cholesterol. That was normal. His triglycerides were normal. Um, so all we know right now is that, as long as he continues on his diet, he should be okay. Um, so he just has to stay on, his, he doesn't have any fibrosis. So he's not going to be going into cirrhosis, if that makes sense. But we're going to have to keep a very close eye on that because that can lead to that. So probably going to have to, keep an eye on that or whatnot. And he's not really that bad overweight. Like, my son's not fat. I got more fat on my body than he does. He just tall as shit. You know what I'm saying? Yep, it literally you can eat. Uh, Basically, a lot of people don't know is at you got to be careful at restaurants. Let's say somebody touches something and then touches your food, they can give you all kind of foodborne illnesses. So you got to be careful with that shit. Ain't that some stuff, church lady? G2K, whatever's going on, bud, I hope that everything goes okay with you. I want you to know to take care of yourself today and all days. And remember to take care of your mental health because you got a family. You know what I'm saying? You got people who depend on you, and you got to take care of yourself too. Don't forget to take care of you while you're taking care of everybody else, okay? Don't forget that. He is tall and solid. He's really not. Like, it kills me. Like, I'm like, he don't even have a fat roll. You know what I'm saying? He don't even have a fat roll. I got a fat roll. He ain't got one. Yes, please take your medication. Speaking of which, did you get your medication, church lady? You was talking about you needed your medicine. Did you get it filled this weekend? You know what I mean? You feel me, homie? I'm hoping, let me open this up. I just got a message. Let me see what this is right quick. Oh, okay. That was just a reminder of my mama's lung screening she's got to do in the next couple of days. Okay. I was just making sure, child. And I got some medications I got to pick up at the pharmacy. Ooh. Child, I get text messages for everything. I take care of everybody else's stuff. Girl, yeah, you got your medicine. But uh non-alcoholic stepio hepatitis is what NASH is. And a lot of people don't understand that hepatitis stands for any kind of inflammation in the liver. Um, there's a difference between Hep A, Hep B, and Hep C, and then there's autoimmune hepatitis on top of that. So someone like, let's use someone from the beefing sector, right, church lady, Miss Yaya or Miss Nika, because they have lupus, right? Because they have a autoimmune disorder, can have autoimmune hepatitis. Autoimmune hepatitis just means inflammation of the liver, right? And that's how most people find out that they actually have an autoimmune disorder, right? Is because usually, like, they have something go on, and then they have a blood test, and that's how they usually find out, right? But yeah, autoimmune is literally hepatitis is just an inflammation of the liver. Now, there's different forms of it, right? There's autoimmune hepatitis, there's A, B, and C. A is caught by ingesting food. Let me show y'all the differences. I'm going to show y'all um, the differences between the three. So you'll know what they are. Because a lot of people don't know the differences and what basically that means, right? But the reason I'm scared of the NASH scores because NASH can turn into cirrhosis, and cirrhosis is scary because that means you then need a you need a liver transplant, right? Anybody knows that's scary, right? Um, let's share screen. I'm going to show y'all the differences between the three because a lot of people don't know. They don't know what the differences is, right? These forms of hepatitis each are caused by a different virus and are spread in different ways. Some infections caused by the viruses may only last a short amount of time, be acute, while others may be long lasting or chronic. In this article, we'll break down the difference between hepatitis A, B, and C in greater detail. What is hepatitis? Viral hepatitis is another thing you can get, is a condition that causes inflammation of your liver. When a hepatitis virus enters your body, it travels to your liver. It can then enter liver cells, hepatocytes. That's why it's called HEPA. That stands for the hepatocytes, which are in your liver cells. They are your liver cells. When you hear anything that says hepatitis, that means basically your liver. And begin to replicate, making more of itself. The activity of the virus can cause damage to your liver cells. Immune cells begin to travel to your liver to fight the infection. This can also contribute to inflammation. Liver damage and inflammation can affect your liver's ability to function. A lot of people also don't know what all the liver does for your body because most people don't know that it's responsible for filtration and blood clotting and different functions that it is associated, which can in turn affect your overall health. This is because your liver has several important functions for your body, including breaking down or filtering various substances in the body, such as drugs and toxins, producing bile, which is important for digestion, making important blood proteins, including those that help your blood to clot, storing additional blood sugar, glucose, as glycogen, which can be used for energy later, synthesizing immune system factors that are important for fighting infections. Your liver is actually very important. A lot of people don't know that. The symptoms of Hep A, B, and C are fairly similar. They may include fever, fatigue, pain in the upper right area of your abdomen, joint pain, nausea or vomiting, diarrhea, usually only with Hep A, lost appetite, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, pale and clay color stool. I'm betting that a lot of you don't even know that you have been exposed to Hep A and don't even know it. It's like having a stomach virus. And in 24 to 40 hours, in most people, it goes away. It goes away. A lot of people don't know that until they get the blood test to find out if they have the antibodies, which means you could also have gotten the, what do you call it? When you get the vaccine, there is a vaccine for it too. So you could also have the antibodies without ever having it, but you got a vaccine for it, right? When you were little or sometime. Hepatitis A is caused by the Hep A virus and has become relatively uncommon in the United States. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, there are only about 24,900 hepatitis A infections in the United States in 2018, which they had a breakout of it in right before the COVID hit, which was in 2019. So maybe they need to update that. Areas of the world where hepatitis is more common are parts of Africa, Asia, Central and South America, Eastern Europe. How do you get it? There are several ways you can get hepatitis A. Having close person-to-person contact with someone who has Hep A, such as taking care of someone who is currently sick, having sex with someone who has the virus, consuming contaminated food or drink, including eating food that has been prepared by someone with Hep A who didn't wash their hands after using the bathroom, drinking untreated infected water, eating food that's been washed or prepared using untreated water, eating undercooked shellfish that was sourced from sewage contaminated water, having contact with contaminated objects such as a toilet and diaper changing areas, then not washing your hands. How does it affect your body? The incubation period of Hep A can be between 15 to 50 days. After this time, you may experience symptoms. Unlike Hep B and C, Hep A only causes an acute or short term illness. What are the risk factors? Some people are of increased risk for contacting HIV and HAV, which is hepatitis A V. I don't know why it's got a V, including people traveling to areas of the world where hepatitis A is common, men who have sex with men, people with use injectables or non-injectables, caregivers who have Hep A, people who are experiencing homelessness, people living with a child who's been adopted from an area where Hep A is common. How is it treated? Hepatitis A treated using supportive methods that can include things like rest, fluids, and healthy foods. Medications can also help ease some of the symptoms like fever, aches, and pains. There's a vaccine available to protect against infections with hepatitis A. This is typically recommended for children as well as people at risk of contracting the virus. Also, receiving a single dose of Hep A vaccine may prevent you from becoming ill if you've been exposed to HIV. For an ineffective, the vaccine needs to be given within 2 weeks of exposure. Most people with Hep A recover without any complications. Once you've had Hep A, you can't get it again. Antibodies of the virus will protect you for life. Some people may have an increased risk for serious illness from Hep A. These include older adults, people living with HIV, or people who have already have a liver disease. So people who have an undercover liver disease, the reason they pass away from Hep A is just because they already had a liver disease and didn't know it. Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like a stomach virus. Most people get it from either being in contact with someone has it, and they're like cooking your food or preparing your food, and you don't even know it, and you eat something, right? And that's how most people get it, or they're in contact with somebody and the person don't even know they have it, and so they spread it. And it's real simple to get, it's real easy to get. You can just be in contact with someone who has it. It spreads very easily. Most people don't even know they've ever had it. It usually acts like a stomach virus, like a 24-hour bug. 24 to 48-hour bug. They get a little sick, then they get over it, right? You can get it from, getting it to But yeah, so most people don't even know they've ever had it. It usually just comes out like a stomach virus, and then they have the antibodies and they never get it again, right? They get the antibodies, or you've been vaccinated for it and don't know it when you were a kid because there is a vaccine for it, right? Most people have been vaccinated by this point in time in their life. You can actually go ask for the vaccine if you don't ever want to catch it. There is a vaccine for it. They also have a vaccine for Hep B, and Hep C has a cure. A lot of people don't know that. Now, hepatitis B and C are the ones that we hear about most of the time. Those are the ones that are mostly caught by drug use or having X with someone with it. And actually, there's a percentage of people, specifically baby boomers, and people in that time period, Gen Xers, and in that area, who are more susceptible to have ever had Hep C. And here's the reason why. Not because of them having X with someone with it. Back in the day, when you used to get blood transfusions, they did not test for it in the blood. So some people actually got Hep C, especially baby boomers, from blood transfusions. I actually knew a woman who got the cure and everything, but by the time they caught it, her liver was so bad that she passed away, unfortunately. Rest in peace. Speaking of which, she was an amazing woman. But she got it from a blood transfusion from back in the day. So that was a thing that they didn't test the blood for back in the day. Hepatitis B is caused by the hepatitis B virus. That's why they say HBV. HBV, hepatitis B virus. Estimated there are about 21,600 acute hepatitis B infections in the United States. Now, you can contact HBV or hepatitis B by coming in contact with the blood or bodily fluids of someone with Hep B. This can happen by having sex with someone with Hep B, sharing injectable drug equipment, being born to a mother with Hep B, having direct contact with blood or open sores of someone with Hep B, getting accidental injuries such as needle sticks or Sharpies injuries, sharing personal items that may come in contact with blood or other bodily fluids such as razors, toothbrushes, or nail clippers. That's why people will tell you don't use anything like that of someone else's. That's why your mom was always on you when you were a kid about not using someone else's toothbrush. Don't use someone else's razor, anything that they use on their personal body, because you can contact that through that. About 95% of adults completely recover from Hep B. However, hepatitis B can also become chronic. The risk of chronic Hep B is greatest in those who were exposed to Hep B as young children. Many people with chronic Hep B don't have symptoms until significant liver damage has occurred. In some people who have Hep B, the virus can react later on. When this happens, symptoms and liver damage may occur. People with weakened immune systems and those being treated for Hep C are at higher risk for HBV reactivation. So basically, Hep B is a STD. It can also be through, drug use if you're using each other's needles, and also, unprotected sex. So be very careful. And and who are at risk? People who receive dialysis. If someone who has Hep B or Hep C, um, you know, you can get exposed to it. You can also get exposed to it if you're a healthcare worker. That's why they'll tell you to take the vaccine. Similar to Hep A, acute Hep B is typically treated using supportive measures. Antiviral medications are available for people with chronic Hep B. Some examples of these medications include Baraclude, Velodomide, Velvirid, Tenofovir. I've never heard of some of these medicines because I've never taken them. People with chronic Hep B will need to be monitored by a healthcare professional. This is necessary to detect any signs of liver damage or liver cancer. A vaccine is available for Hep B. It is typically given to all infants, children, and teens in the United States. Vaccinations is also recommended for adults who are at a high risk for contacting it. So there is a vaccine for Hep A and Hep B, and there is a cure for Hep C, if y'all didn't know that. Hepatitis C is caused by the hepatitis C virus. How do you get it? Sharing injectable drug equipment, being born to a mother with Hep C, having sex with someone who has Hep C, getting piercings or tattoo with equipment that has been reused or hasn't been properly sterilized, getting accidental injuries such as needle sticks or sharp injuries, sharing personal items that may be in contact with blood or other bodily fluids such as razors, toothbrushes, or nail clippers, receiving donated blood products, or organs prior to the 1990s. Anything prior to the 1990s, a lot of people actually got Hep C from this situation because they did not do testing like they do now. The average incubation period for Hep C is between 14 to 84 days, but it can last up to 182 days. Some people only experience an acute illness after which the body clears the virus, like Hep B. Acute hepatitis C can last from weeks to months. More than half of people with Hep C develop a chronic form of disease. Many people with chronic Hep C don't have symptoms, while some may have very nonspecific symptoms like fatigue or feeling depression. People with chronic hepatitis C can eventually develop cirrhosis or liver cancer. This often takes years to happen. Some factors that can put you in increased risk for developing cirrhosis include being over 50, being male, drinking alcohol, taking immunosuppressant medications, having another type of liver disease. What are the risk factors? The following groups are an increased risk for contracting Hep C: injectable drug users, people living with HIV, if it's born to mothers with Hep C, those with increased risk for occupational exposure to Hep C, such as healthcare workers, people who received dialysis, people who received a blood transfusion or organ transplant prior to 1992, those who've received clotting factors before 1987. How it is treated. They've got antiviral therapy, and they're showing you all the names of the drugs right here. It is estimated that over 90% of people with Hep C can be cleared of the virus within a course of antiviral drugs. However, it is still possible to contract Hep C again after you completed treatment. There's currently no vaccine for Hep C. There is currently no vaccine for Hep C, although there is one for Hep A and Hep B. There is, however, a cure for Hep C now, and I don't believe there's a cure once you get into a specific version of Hep B when you have it. You know, when it becomes severe. But they're saying that acute hepatitis can last for weeks or months, are often mild. More serious illness can happen in older adults. So they're saying that now they can treat Hep B. I don't know if it goes away though. Let me see, because it actually may now. Because I mean, they have came up with way more stuff than they had previously, right? Um, I think that if you have Hep B, you always have Hep B. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not 1,000% on that. I'm going to give y'all false information. But they're saying that some people have Hep B and it winds up like Hep A and they end up going away on its own because your body creates its own antibodies. That's what I was reading. You also have autoimmune. Let me show y'all the different forms. And what, like, a lot of people don't know that there is autoimmune. There is different forms, right? Besides just because most people, when they hear that, they think of the ones that we've always heard about as kids, the ones that you can get from STDs and stuff, right? Or drug use or all this other stuff. We're always told that as kids, right? We were always told that. But it comes in many different forms, right? Hepatitis is mostly common caused by the virus hepatovirus A, B, C, and D is the Delta virus and is one of 5 known. It's considered a satellite because it can propagate only in the presence of hepatitis B virus. Transmission of HDV occurs. I didn't know they had a D and an E. Did y'all know they had a D and an E? Child, I'm learning something new right there. Did y'all see that? They done came up with D and E. Child, I didn't know that. Other common causes of hepatitis are heavy alcohol use, certain medications, toxins, other infections, autoimmune diseases, and non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, which is NASH. Hepatitis A and E are mainly spread by contaminated food and water. Hepatitis B is mainly sexually transmitted, but also can be passed from mother to baby during pregnancy or childbirth and spread through infected blood. Hepatitis C is commonly spread through infected blood, for example, during needle sharing by intravenous drug use. Hepatitis D can only infect people already infected with Hep B. Hepatitis A, B, and D are preventable with immunization. Medications may be used to treat chronic viral hepatitis. Antiviral medications are recommended in all with chronic hepatitis C, except those with conditions that limit their life expectancy. There is no specific treatment for NASH. Physical activity, a healthy diet, weight loss are recommended. Autoimmune hepatitis may be treated with medications to suppress the immune system. A liver transplant may be an option in both acute and chronic liver failure. Hepatitis, see, this is when you get jaundice. That's when your bilirubin is up. When you start seeing the yellowing of the eyes, the skin, the nail, all the parts of your body that are supposed to, like even in your gums will turn yellow and like you look like a yellow crayon. I'm just going to tell you. There is distinct phases of it. And then, it's different kinds. A lot of people don't know. You have infectious, which is viral. Not just Hep A, B, C, and D. You also have it to where you can get an infection, and I think it's got a different name, and I forgot what it's called. Then you have parasitic hepatitis, bacterial. You can actually get a bacteria that can cause it, right? Just a regular old bacteria. Um, Alcoholic, because there's metabolic versions. Toxic and drug induced. Certain drugs can cause it, like statins. Certain antibiotics can cause it. A lot of people don't know that. Herbal remedies and dietary supplements are another important cause of hepatitis. A lot of people don't know that you have to be very careful what you take and what you put into your body. There are hepotoxins, which is a toxic chemical substance that damages livers. Amantha Phalidos, or commonly known as death caps, is a deadly poisonous fungus and mushroom. And if you eat that, it can cause hepatotoxicity, right? It's, when you're out picking wild mushrooms, if you are a person who does that to eat them, make sure you don't accidentally eat death caps, please. They're very dangerous. Carbon triglyceride, also known in many other names such as carbon tet for short, and tetrachloroethylene, also recognized as IUPAC, is a chemical compound with the chemical formula CCI, is a non-inflammable, dense, colorless liquid with a sweet chloroform. That's a toxin that can actually affect your liver. Non-alcoholic hepatitis is with a spectrum of non-alcoholic liver disease, which ranges in sensitivity and reversibility from non-alcoholic fatty liver disease to non-alcoholic steatohepatitis or NASH to cirrhosis to liver cancer, similar to the spectrum of alcohol liver disease. Non-alcoholic liver disease occurs in people with little or no history of alcohol use and is instead strongly associated with metabolic syndromes, obesity, insulin resistant, and diabetes, and hypertriglyceridemia. Over time, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease can progress to non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, which additionally involves liver cell death, liver inflammation, possible fibrosis. Factors accelerating progression from NAFLD to NASH are obesity, older age, non-African American ethnicity, female gender, diabetes mellitus, hypertension, higher ALT or AST level, higher AST-LAT ratio, low platelet count, and an ultrasound stenosis score. In earlier stages, as with NAFLD and early NASH, most patients are asymptomatic or have mild right upper quadrant pain, and diagnosis is suspected on the basis of abnormal liver function tests. As the disease progresses, symptoms typically of chronic hepatitis may develop. While imaging can show fatty liver, only liver biopsies can demonstrate inflammation and fibrosis characteristics of NASH. 9 to 25% of patients with NASH develop cirrhosis. NASH is recognized as the third most common cause of liver disease in the United States. Autoimmune hepatitis is a chronic disease caused by abnormal immune responses against liver cells. This disease is thought to have a genetic predisposition as it is associated with certain human leukocyte antigens involved in the immune response. As in other autoimmune diseases, circulating autoantibodies may be present or helpful in diagnosis. Autoantibodies found in the patients with autoimmune hepatitis include the sensitivity but less specific anti-nuclear antibody, ANA, smooth muscle antibody, SMA, and atypical perinuclear anti-nucleophilic cytoplasmic antibody, the PANACA. Other autoantibodies that are less common but more specific to autoimmune hepatitis are the antibodies against liver kidney microsome 1 and soluble liver antigen. Autoimmune hepatitis can also be triggered by drugs such as nitrofurantoin, hydrolizidine, and methyl Latapa. another after liver transplant or by viruses such as Hep A, Epstein-Barr virus, or measles. Autoimmune hepatitis can present anywhere within the spectrum from asymptomatic to acute to chronic hepatitis fulfillment liver failure. Patients with asymptomatic 25 to 30% of the time, and the diagnosis suspected on the basis of abnormal liver function tests. Some studies show between 25% to 75% of cases present with signs and symptoms of acute hepatitis. As with other autoimmune diseases, autoimmune hepatitis usually affects young females, though it can affect patients of either sex at any age. And patients can exhibit classic signs and symptoms of autoimmunity, such as fatigue, anemia, anorexia, anemoria, acne, arthritis, pleurisy, thyroiditis, ulcerative colitis, nephritis, and macular polar rash. Autoimmune hepatitis increased risk for cirrhosis, and the risk for liver cancer is increased for about 1% for each year of the disease. Many people with autoimmune hepatitis have other autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune hepatitis is distinct from the other autoimmune diseases of the liver, primary biliary cirrhosis and primary sclerosing cholangitis, both of which can lead to scarring, fibrosis, and cirrhosis of the liver. Genetic causes of hepatitis include A1 tryptophan deficiency, hemochromatosis, and Wilson disease. In alpha 1 tryptophan deficiency, a codominant, which we've went over this before, but you know, it with his ferritin coming back, we are looking at what's the name of it? Hemochromatosis or whatever, but his iron test came back normal. And most people who are actually, have this are of, they say, of Celtic descent or European ancestry. Um, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? What's going to happen with that? So we're just gonna have to see what's going on with that, because I his test for having too much iron in his blood came back normal. So I have no idea. Yeah, I'm gonna say this, you can live with one kidney, right? But you need at least one kidney. When you get a liver transplant, a lot of people don't know this. If you yourself ever want to donate part of your liver, believe it or not, they don't have to take the entire liver from somebody. They can take a portion, a piece of your liver to give to someone else, and the liver will regrow. The liver will grow. The liver is the coolest organ in the body. If you have not looked up the fact of how they do liver transplants and how the liver can replenish itself and heal itself, it's crazy. It's the only organ in the human body that can repair itself. There is no other organ in the body that can do that. It is one of the coolest. Hey, Stiffy, good morning, love. So I'm just gonna have to, if he does have hemochromatosis, I'm going to guess that he's going to, I don't know what it points to for him, because his ferritin score did come back elevated, but they said that when I looked it up, because he's not extremely elevated, they said that it could be because of inflammation. It could be a marker of inflammation. It's not over a certain amount, and I looked it up, and they said anything under 400 could be inflammation, anything over it, blah blah blah. So I was reading up on it because I'm waiting till the doctor comes back to tell you the truth. Ooh, what new episode? What episode we talking about, Stiffy? Ooh, I like episodes. What we talking about? What we talking about? Oh, snap. I got to share this, y'all. So later at 3:30 p.m., Stiffy's going to be dropping some information that y'all might want to watch. I'm going to put her live link for later so y'all can turn on y'all's notifications in the box. It's going to be all in the box. I put it in the box. Hopefully I'll be home from paying bills, Stiffy. If I'm not, I'm gonna be watching on my phone while I'm out. Okay. But if y'all don't see me say hey in the chat, it's most likely because I'm still out paying bills. But so that's how I'm gonna do it or whatnot. But that's y'all make sure y'all turn on that notification. Okay. Cause I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for that. That seems like it's gonna be cool, Stiffy. I don't know what you're gonna be showing, but I'll be there. I'll be square, boo. I also like how you got don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. I don't know why, but I'm sitting there singing the song right now, Stiffy. My brain is just going, Miss Stiffy, my brain's going, woo! Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. If you want some, come get some. I can't wait to see what that's gonna be about, child. You got me all excited for 3 o'clock. Got me super excited. I don't know why, but I had to go rewatch your video right quick with the cereal. The it's got the it and it's got the Jason, the Michael, the Scream person, and the person wearing the Freddy. I was like, I had to go watch that again. You have a good one, Stiffy. And you finish at like 5 a.m. It's gonna be a awesome. Oh, Farmer Fred, Stiffy is going to be doing a live at 3:30, and the title says Episode 6: Pantyhose and Punts. Fairy Bros versus Stiffy's Hole. So yeah, that's the name. So you might want to turn on your notifications. Because that's probably going to be pretty good. I can't wait to see episode 6. Episode 6 is going to be good. Oh, let me check something. I think we just got a new letter. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Uh, 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 uh. What's the letter? What's the letter? I gotta check the letters. Let's see. Um, where's letters? Where's letters? Okay, let's check letters. Okay. Okay, so from the letter from the doctor, that the fibrosure suggests F0 fibrosis or no scarring of the liver. Fibrosure suggests mild fatty liver disease. ANA is weakly positive, and liver enzymes remain elevated, which they're going down. But um, um, it basically is not pointing to anything. But he has an appointment in July, so I don't think they're going to do anything. They haven't called me. So if y'all hear my phone ring and I got to, switch over real fast, um, just know that that would be the reason why. Because if they call me, I'd be like, what? You know what I'm saying? I hope they do give me more of the information though, cause like, uh, where oh where, stay alive. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Uh, let's see. So let's see. 0.63. Yeah, I can't wait for it, Farmer Fred. We're gonna figure out what's going on later. Um, so I got my notification turned on, Stiffy. I got my notification. Y'all know I like my cartoons, my cartoon life. Yeah. Why did all of a sudden I gotta tell y'all something. All of a sudden, I literally just had a, a thought process uh, of Rockstar by the weekend. I don't know why. I don't know why. Or no, it was the one by what's his name? I forgot his name. Rockstar. I don't know why. Don't ask. Don't ask me. I don't know. Farm Fred, yo, garden looks real good in that one picture. Is your garden been doing good this year? Everything looking good in your garden? I know my garden's looking pretty good because of the rain we've been getting and stuff. Mine's looking pretty good, but I am gonna be not too long from now getting off here because I do got to go get dressed, so take care of bills. I'm gonna take me a second to relax and drink the rest of my coffee, and before I have to get up and go. and do everything. So hopefully that doctor will call me in a little bit, because I hope they call me and explain it to me better than versus reading a damn test score that really don't tell me shit. I want to hear from him himself, or whatnot. So I'm hoping that he calls me and lets me know what some of those tests mean, and whatnot. But I want to thank you all for being here today. I know I'm cutting it a little shorter than I normally do. We'll be back to our normal programming probably tomorrow, unless something goes down and we have to go to new doctor's appointments and have different tests done. I'm not sure where this is going to lead to just yet. We got the test results back, but they're like, you know what I mean? So hopefully they'll let us know what's up. But thank you all for being here. I will see y'all out on these streets. I'm sorry for not being as present as I usually am right now, and being a little all over the place. But I hope you understand why. And thank you all for being here. And thank you for those who catch the replay and sending much love. Thank you for those who support my channel, become members. Anybody who hits the Cash App, anybody who, supports me in any way, because your support means everything, and your support actually has helped, me be able to fund some things that my son may need for his health. And I could do it anyway, but I'm saying that I would do it anyway. I'm gonna tell you something. I would do anything for him. If that means walking through hot coals, or walking across a bean field with no shoes on. And if y'all know anything about bean fields and walking with bean fields with no shoes on, that's rough. I just want to say thank you to everyone. Just hitting that like button, support me in any way, shape, or form. You're helping. So I just want to say thank you, and that I appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you all have a blessed and beautiful day. Huggies. Bye.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show. From the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go. From the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show. From the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction. This was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding. Come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Outer Street, bending every corner on the west, and that's where I'll be. Sunroof back, Captain C banging down 1800, chunking up the deuce to my post slanging down on 1800. Show no love to the ladies that's training round on 1800, making time stand still. Crystalline swinging down on 1800, watching out for them rubberheads that be staying round on 1800. Big rims and low pros be blanging round on 1800. Better completely change the way you're thinking about round 1800. Really hate to see you boys get left slanking around 1800. Out of street got some history, just let Captain C lay it out. If I don't finish it all on this one, let the second verse break it out. Remember the blue apartments from OG standing back there by 60 deep. Bull walking, saw blue, a big Anthony Hughes and Pee.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my